I'm a financial planner. I started to realize very quickly that if I was not making content online and going digital and having an online presence, I felt like I would probably pretty quickly fade away in the background. I looked at content creation as something that wasn't really an option for me. And then it turned out that I actually really loved to do it. And so as I was trying to do what I could to get it going, I quickly realized I needed to have a system in place. And I quickly realized how much work it actually is. I mean, it is a lot of work. And as I was finding that passion, I also realized that there are a lot of platforms, and it became very clear to me very quickly that I wanted to really grow my social media, and in particular starting with my Instagram. And the only way to do that is by consistently producing a lot of content and being committed to also growing and making it better over time. And that was a big part of this. I realized that there was no way I could do this without some sort of help. I went to ChatGPT and looked for the top VA editor companies that are here in the United States that can help pair me with somebody. And Cherry was at the top of the list. I ultimately ended up going with Cherry because I do have experience with virtual assistant companies like yours from several years ago. But the role I was looking for before was not for an editor. It was for like an actual virtual administrative assistant. Long story short, the process of pairing me in the past, I did not think was done with a lot of care or intention. And it just didn't end up working out well. So that's why I was hesitant in the first place to do it again. But when I met you guys and we started to go through the interview process, it was very, very evident to me that you guys put a lot of work and intention behind the candidates, and they each had some unique qualities, that all of which that I was looking for. What was a surprise is it was not an easy decision on who to go with. You really made that job hard, but I was really appreciative of that because I felt like I didn't need to keep searching. I felt like you really took that seriously, and I really appreciated that about your process.
Amazing. Well, I really appreciate that insight, Andrew. Of course, I understand the need for bringing on a video editor and perhaps what she's handling on a day-to-day, supporting your social media and edits and so on. What real impact has that made for you on the day-to-day so far?
I've been working with my candidate brief for just over 2 months. And what's been really amazing is over these months, she and I have worked very closely together. And it's taken some time more so on my end to continue to get more organized for her so that we kind of have some systems and flow in place. But now, just 2 months in, I can honestly say my content creation is now a system with her. I have a calendar built out to where I have like 2 weeks in advance. Not just the videos are filmed, but we're now getting more and more ahead into the next few weeks as far as videos being edited as well. And that piece has been huge for me because up until now, a lot of the weeks have been, I have clients that I have a responsibility for or with. But then I also want to be building this. And so up until recently, it's been a lot of like, okay, I need to like kind of almost play catch up every week to kind of keep up with staying consistent on social media. Whereas now I feel like because now I'm ahead, now I can like take a pause each week and figure out, okay, how can I be better at this, and put time and effort into how to grow and be more intentional with the type of content rather than just trying to whip something up really quick. And I'm starting to see more growth and more momentum in that growth on my social media because I'm now able to spend some time focusing on what are the types of posts and videos that are growing my audience, that are getting shared, getting saved. And it's opened up a lot of time and space now that I have that process with Bria in place.
Amazing. Yeah, I've seen that work out quite amazingly with a number of different clients. You at times you feel like you just bogged down, you're in the weeds of things, right? And I think one of the great reasons to bring somebody on in a like virtual assistant capacity is to free you up, just the mental capacity, so that you can start thinking more strategically and planning for whatever needs to happen moving forward, so that you do grow. Right, that's the ultimate goal. Right. So I think that's awesome. Would you say that for one, hiring offshore, right, and having a virtual assistant on board is something that you would recommend to people?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I would say like why this works for me specifically is because I'm not the type of person that is ever going to want to micromanage or need to micromanage somebody. I like flexibility. I like how there's kind of room to kind of go at your own pace in a sense. And, I don't have this constant need of like knowing exactly what you're doing every minute of the day. And with a virtual assistant, especially editing, once we really have gone into this system and flow, there's really it's highly unlikely. I don't experience it often where I need or even want a response from my editor immediately. So obviously there's time differences, but that has not been an issue at all for me. It's more affordable to use somebody offshore. I mean, for me, it's been like a 10 out of 10, experience. And, it's allowing me to afford to get the assistance and help that I need in this space. So, I mean, I highly recommend it for a business owner.
Awesome. All right. Well, Andrew, really, really appreciate sort of your thoughtful responses and insights. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on from your end, just outside of those few questions?
I mean, I think it's important to reiterate what I said in the beginning about how important and impactful it was for me during the interview process, and the level of intention and care that you clearly put into that. That's probably the biggest takeaway. And then on top of that, I mean, Bree has, the candidate that I went with has completely delivered on everything that I was hoping she would and more. And I'm very, very happy with her. I can't wait to grow with her. And, if someone's out there and, inside that you need to grow and you need this type of help or assistance and in a way that's maybe a little bit more affordable, but also will genuinely help, I mean, I would definitely recommend your services to any business owner.
Amazing. Well, we absolutely appreciate that and appreciate you partnering with us as we work through this process. And of course, the goal is to see Bree with you long term. Right?
Yeah,
and I see the making of that.
Yeah, I do too. So thank you so much.